Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cocoa in the Sun podcast. I am your host, Malika Critchlow, and I am feeling very, very blessed to be here with you, beautiful, beautiful beings of on this beautiful planet. So today we're going to continue with the book, the Magdalene Manuscript. I wanted to do one yesterday, but I just couldn't manage. I believe we start Taoism today. So we finished Tantric Yoga, which is one of the three things he was going to discuss. So I feel like we're progressing. Um, so yes, I wanted to do one yesterday, but I don't know what was going on with me yesterday. I had a good day. Um, and around the time I was ready to do the podcast, one of my eyes was very gritty. And I tried to put like drops in it. It wasn't working. I had to really just let it be. I just took it as a sign yesterday wasn't the day for a podcast because I couldn't see. Well, I would have been too blurry. It was hurting. So like focus my eyes and move it too much in that one eye. So I just relaxed in the afternoon. I got some things done in the morning and then I relaxed in the afternoon. And I had a restful day. And then last night, I did go to sleep late, but once I went to sleep, I had a really restful night. Not much visual dreaming, but understandings in the dream without visuals. So it's like thoughts. Anyway, pretty good morning. Feeling very connected, very loved, a lot of love energy. Feeling like seeing little things I want being created in my reality. So I'll give you an example. And I'm really like when these things happen, I'm like super excited and I celebrate it. So more comes, more, more, more. This song came into my mind a few days ago when I was asking for expansion. Okay, so let me explain. A few days ago, I understood that with my receiving abundance, remember I was saying like a few weeks ago or last week, I realized I had a problem with receiving. So this whole abundance journey has been, bringing core beliefs to awareness and clearing them. And then now, I'm looking at actually like I wasn't able to receive. They let me know this week I wasn't celebrating what was received and celebrating the fact that it was manifested by me and my divine team and thanking them for assisting me and thanking myself for bringing it into my reality and celebrating that even though it may not have been specifically what I wanted, it met a need. And then, of course, refining what you want or reiterating. This is so great. Like, I can't believe I did this. It's like, oh, it's working. Okay, let's expand on this. How do I bring more in? How do I expand on this? How do I learn how to bring more in? What do I need to do? So I did that this week. Later that evening, a song just came in my head. It was just this phrase of this song, old song. More, more. So I was like, oh, more is coming. I want more, 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 more. So I thought it was really funny. I think it was from my angels and my guides. Um, yeah, so I found out, yeah, like I needed to celebrate what was coming in order for more to come in. And allow more to come in by trusting that it would and not stressing about it. And also found out that I don't particularly like being in need. I specifically don't like even more than not being in need or needing more than one time. So a situation occurred and we found a solution. And then a week later, it was out of my hands and a situation occurred. And so I had to find a solution. And the way these things are occurring is in the best way for me. So the need is being met in the best way for me. And I'm learning from the best people that wouldn't hurt me or make me feel bad or, just people that want to help me solve as well. And I understood this in the shower also. I found out remember I was saying, I don't know where the flow comes, where the understanding is what I'm doing to bring, when I want to live more in the flow. So that communication is a lot better between me and my divine team, my higher self, my soul, my angels, my guides. I wanted the information to flow. And to be in the flow. So I know when you're in the flow, things that you enjoy come, the understandings come and stuff. So I found out that when I'm in the shower, it's a major one. When I'm driving, it's another one. Sunset sometimes, not always. Um, Early, if I wake up in the morning and I sit with myself. So that I have to do for the dreams, to recall the dreams from the night, but also like understandings come then too. So those are 4 times I notice that stuff comes. When I'm watching TV randomly, I don't know what type of show. I have to pay attention to the type of shows I'm watching. It's got to be shows where I'm laughing and completely at ease. That stuff comes as well. So those 5 things. So I'm getting answers, right? I'm figuring out all of this. Anyway, so I understood too, like I don't like being in need. I definitely don't like being in need more than once, or having to go to someone in need more than once. And that I needed to accept and love myself there. And know that nothing's wrong with me. It's not a bad thing. And that allows some more connection, and also teaches whoever connections and sharing and generosity and stuff like that. But I'm not concerned with their lesson. My lesson is to allow myself to be there, and to allow myself to be lovable there, and not be, you know, upset with myself for being there and stuff like that. And also I understood that this allows me to connect with others. And I understood that when I am not in this situation again, I will have a lot of patience with people that come to me in need, and in need more than once. I wouldn't be like, well, I just helped you. So I would be a great, I suppose, a great teacher of that to them, so that they can be that to other people. So the teachers I have that are teaching me this, that are there for me, are wonderful. And it's the best people that I feel comfortable going to. And I've learned to love myself here and be okay with being there. And I'm going to be able, I know I'm going to be in this position to help others, which is also like super exciting. I'm so excited to help others if I can. So yeah, so learning a lot about my receiving and abundant stuff. Oh my God. So celebrating when something does manifest, and being okay with being in need more than once. And stuff like that. And yeah, so today too, I went to Publix and I went to get peanut butter. And of course, this peanut butter was buy one, get one free. And the jars were huge. It was in the regular size jars. I was like, what? The apples were on sale. Before that, I wanted like a frozen pizza, so I had Googled what was the best frozen pizza, and they said Screaming Sicilian online. I went to Publix, and guess what? It was buy one, get one free as well. So I feel like all these things I have manifested with the help, of course, of my divine team. And I'm celebrating these things, celebrating and being so grateful for it, and wanting to do this more. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. also wanted to talk about this video I saw and another video I saw. So I saw this video yesterday. It was from one of those channeled message from the Acturians, and basically the video was given directions on how to access 5D. And I can't say that the video is wrong. I can just tell you it didn't resonate with me. And I mean, I think it resonated with somebody else, because maybe that's their path, but it didn't resonate with me in what's being true, or where I am on my path, what seems to be true. Of course, it's a spiral, and they could be at a different stage of the spiral, and it could be true for there. I want to say that, right? I don't believe there's any, like, the truth depends on perception, and their infinite perceptions, perspectives, right? So I'll just tell you, but for my truth, it didn't resonate with me. And I do enjoy their videos a lot of times, but just to let you know that not everything resonates, and you have to just take what resonates and what doesn't. And I'll tell you why it didn't resonate. So the child message from the Acturians, they were talking about how to access 5D. So ever since I looked at that Monroe Institute video, I find it really that now when they mention 5D, I am like, well, what 5D? Do they mean the fifth level of consciousness for humans, or the fifth level of consciousness for the universe? Of, the fifth level of consciousness in this dimension, like this, the fifth dimension in this universe, because there's two different things. The fifth level of consciousness, based on that Monroe video from the last time I did the podcast, is the level after the love level. The love level, remember, bridges connection with your guides. Communication can begin there. And then from there, the fifth level is basically a form of tranquility and peace you get from that love, and an understanding of what all the other levels are and how they interconnect, how they connect, right? And what they were for. So that's the fifth level of consciousness for the human being. But then there's also the fifth dimension that the guide was talking about, where there was plants, animals, humans. The fourth dimension, 3D is the human dimension. The fourth dimension was where we go after death, and each level has 7 levels. And then the fifth and the sixth and the seventh, he didn't explain fully, but I think that was evolution in spirit. You did not have a physical body for that. After the third dimension, after level 21, in the third dimension, because remember, each level has 7, right? So plants are 7. So 1 to 7 will be plants, 8 to 14 would be animals, 15 to 21 would be humans. After the 21st level, when you head into the 4D, it's you don't have a physical body. You can't be in there with a physical body. You can visit there from the 21st level, from 3D at the 21st level, but you can't stay there because you have a physical body. So you can leave a physical body and go there and come back to your physical body, but you have to come back to the 3D, to the 21, until you decide to give up your physicality, and then you can evolve in spirit, without a form, without a physical form, whatever they want to call it. If that form of consciousness doesn't have a physical body. So when they mention 5D, it's a lot of these videos about 5D and 5D. I always wonder now, after I saw that video, which helped me explain it, it was so like understood what was going on. Like, are people misinterpreting or not fully understanding those two levels? I mean, it could be wrong what that video said, I don't know, but it just feels to me like it's correct. And based off of that, I always feel like there's some mix up here, right? So the 5D, not the 5 human consciousness, the 5D level, you do not have a physical form. Is that where human consciousness is going? We're giving up this physical form right now and heading into that? Or are we going to the 5th level of human consciousness, which is living in peace and tranquility and knowing and understanding, all of this being accessed through love. I believe that's what's going on right now. I think we are heading to the 5th level of human consciousness. I don't believe it's actually the 5D in terms of the 5th dimension, where we will not be in physical form. Because I think we do have to experience all the levels of human consciousness for Source to have that full experience. That's why we are here. We are different from other beings. So this is an experience Source is having through us. I would think he would want to experience all the levels of the human consciousness. However, I could be wrong. And it could be the 5D and we're heading into that space where we are no longer physical. If that's the case, then the video would be correct. But if it's not the case, then the video would be incorrect. And I am thinking it's not the case right now. I could be wrong, because right now in this being, this level of human consciousness that we're heading in and beginning to feel and see and experience feels really good. And this is where we get out of this power dynamic and out of duality and more into peace building and manifesting through love and harmony and knowing and there being enough for all, right? Why would we rush that aspect of consciousness on the human level? And that's like a beautiful space to experience. Why would I rush that experience? I would really want to relish that and savor that more than the other levels. So if we're flying through that quickly into this 5D non-physical level, then that kind of sucks, because I want to experience what it means to be human and divine. I want to experience what it is to be divine in this physical aspect. And I want to savor it and enjoy it. I don't want to be rushed. I don't want to, once I figure out how to do it, be like, okay, I have to give up this. Nah, I want to enjoy this. I want to taste what the food tastes like better now. I want to see how my body feel better now. I want to see how I'm manifesting and creating feel better now, because it's creating out of love and not out of lack. Like, so I don't know. So I just don't think it's the 5D level where we're giving up physicality. I think it's the 5th level of human consciousness we're going through. I think we're leaving the 3rd level of human consciousness, which is the power dynamic. We're heading into the 4th and 5th level. I think they go together. Some of the 6th too, maybe kind of mix in there, and they do go together. And that's the first step in that ascension level is love, the 4th level, that bridge to connection with our divinity and that communication. So that's what I think is going on, and that's where I think we are. And so this video said, and I was like, she said, oh, we're heading into a 5D air level. In order to do that, you have to forget about human wants and this human way of thinking. Do you think Source Creator cares about if you have rent to pay and if you have bills? Of course not. And I was flabbergasted. That did not resonate with me, because of course Source to me cares if I am Source, and I care because I am living as Source in a physical reality that has bills. So just the fact that I am Source living in this physical reality and I have bills and I care, then Source does care. So I was like, what? This person is like, I did not connect with that at all. Not only, and if she's talking about in a general sense of Source not having to care about it because there's so many other things to care about, all these are all different levels of Source. And we have guides and angels to help us, specifically assigned to us, that does care about our needs and how we bring these needs into our reality, how these needs are met in our reality. I think what's changing is how these needs are met in our reality. It's leaving from force and power and effort, and it's heading into trusting and knowing that the universe will provide, and knowing that you're a creator, and effortlessness of what you want coming to you based on your vibration and your frequency of it. I think this is the skill that we're learning now with this love energy. The love energy is particularly important. Like I said, for me, self-love is pivotal to this, because once you love yourself and you are source, why would source, who you are, and you love yourself, not want to give you in this other aspects of source what you need, unless it's going to harm another or it's going to stop your progression and evolution, maybe. But even if it, I don't really think it stops your evolution, because I feel if there's a desire that you want, that's a physical desire, that it's a part of you discovering what's for you and what's not for you. And until you experience that desire that you want to create in this reality, you won't know if it's a heart joy for sure, or if it's just an ego joy. So you kind of have to experience it to know, to differentiate, well, yeah, this is something I want, no, this is something I don't really care for, I don't need it, blah, blah, blah. And that's all in search of your own self-discovery. So yeah, I think even that is like part of it. Like I think our desires help us create or develop our creative skills, and how to do it, and how to do it hopefully in love, how to transfer it from the ego creating to the love creating. So I think, yeah, I don't think creator doesn't care about our physical needs. I think our physical needs are a tool to teach us how to create in love, in a more joyous, fun, laughter-filled, more connection, authentic, true self as your true self being an aspect of source way. So I couldn't believe she said, oh, source is again. You think source cares about your rent? Yes, I do. I think my rent or my mortgage and what I want for that and how I want those needs met are a tool for source to teach me how to meet those needs. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So I just think that, you know, I just wanted to reiterate that your needs matter, that I believe source cares about your needs just by the simple fact that you are source and your needs matter to you. But in general fact that source loves you, and wants to make sure all your needs are met, that you don't feel unloved, that you don't feel in lack, that you don't, you don't feel like nothing works out for you. They want you to develop that knowing that it does work out, that they do care, that you are loved, that everything you want that's good for you, that will bring you joy, is for you. We are here in this experience, I believe, and I told you joy is super from my experience, to experience joy. What brings us joy? To experience joy in this experience. I think this is it. This is it. Love and joy. This is it. This is it. This is what source wants to experience. It wants to play through us. It wants to learn through us. And we have been learning, let me tell you, in a very hard way. It's been dense. So this density is relieving. You feel I want to give up this lightness and just give up the physicality of it and jump and not explore this in its light form, in its freeness, in its love form. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought I was absolutely, I could not believe. Anyway, but I could be wrong again. I preface it didn't resonate with me. It does not mean that it is incorrect. They could be in a different spiral, talking from a different viewpoint, a different perspective, and it could be true for that perspective. But it's perspective that I am experiencing as a human in my own evolution that did not resonate with me at all. And being that maybe it was Challenger and Arcturian, I don't know what their history is, if they were actual physical beings, and if they were physical beings that enjoyed their physicality, the emotions and the feelings. I want to enjoy the food and the people and the connection and the places and the sun and the rain and the homes and the shelters, all in harmonious relationship with my being. That's what I want. So I don't know if they had that experience. I don't know. So maybe they're talking, but they haven't been human, so they can't really tell what our progression will be or what aspect we would enjoy most in this progression. But I do believe Source cares about you and your needs. And I thought that message, well, it could have been filtered incorrectly by the human that was filtering it. Maybe this human feels this way because their needs haven't been met. Maybe. I don't know. I will say that this journey isn't easy and it can feel like your needs aren't being met, but generally they are. And what I'm realizing is celebration in how these needs are met and asking for more and an expansion of and a refinement of how you want the needs met may be the way. I'm still figuring that out. I suspect that's the way. But anyway, also then I saw another message from a lady that channels the angels. I always think the angels get it though. It was the sweetest message. And basically, the angels were saying, I think I will even play the message for you. The angels were saying that they know we have physical needs. They know. They know. It's not forgotten. And these needs will be met in the best way for us. I think I'm going to play it because I don't want to put the wrong words in. But basically, yeah, our guides and helpers, people in the aspects of consciousness that enjoy helping us, that's their joy. Know that we need stuff, and these needs are. Let me play the video because you know what? Not the bad video, not the video where they were saying that thing. The video where they say, "We know you have needs." I do enjoy the angels, so. I even saved the video because I like the video so much.
Question. Would you build a website for a major brand with more than 200 million?
It just feels so good to goes into.
Okay, so now let's see if I could share this with you guys. Recording. You know, Zoom have this data upgrade, you know, and okay, so this is the video. I'm going to share it.
Out of your life. You will notice that flow becoming stronger and easier to attract. The happier and more blessed your life becomes. In order to help others, you must flow as much love energy as possible. And the side effect of that is blessings in your life. That is the perfection of love energy. Begin noticing that your life is flowing better and you are feeling happier. This will continue to happen more and more. Begin noticing that abundance is increasing in your life. You live in a physical world, and you have physical needs around money. Money is an energy that flows into and out of your life. You will notice that flow becoming stronger and easier to attract. Without much effort, your flow of abundance will increase noticeably.
Okay. So, you see, so they say that they know we have physical needs and we need money. They know this. So what happens is, I think how this comes into our lives will be in the best way for us, but it will be affected by our frequency and our vibration, and our love frequency looks like it will play an integral aspect of this. Remember, love begins with self-love. So it doesn't mean how you love everybody, because you can't really love everybody if you don't love yourself. So make sure that has to be authentic. But anyway, so that's what I think we're switching to. How that's done. Eventually we may not need money, and that would be great. I don't know how that's going to occur, but that message yesterday was like tone deaf. I couldn't resonate with it at all. Anyways, but let us start with the Taoism. Taoism. Let's start with Taoism. Let's start, but that was enough of that. So, yes. So I want to talk about those two things that I don't think I need to expand on it anymore. I think I talked about it enough, right? Okay. So Taoism, we're stepping into it. Taoism. There were two primary streams of philosophical thought in ancient China, those of Confucianism and Taoism. Confucianism was pragmatic and focused upon one's position in and one's responsibilities to family and state. Taoism, on the other hand, was largely, sorry, was largely mystical and was concerned with such things as one's relationship to the cosmos and the means to extend one's life for the purpose of spiritual illumination. The foundation of Taoism is based upon an abstract concept known as the Tao. This ephemeral field of intelligence is said to be responsible for the entire universe. It continually emanates energy, but is untouched by its creations. According to Taoism, mankind is blessed due to the fact that his or her deepest nature allows him or her to make direct contact with the source of all things. Taoist alchemy is fundamentally a means to make contact with one's deeper nature, thereby giving access to the Tao itself. I like that. Let me underline that. Hold on. Such contact is highly transformational. Those sages who accomplished this feat attained almost mythical stature, due no doubt to their exhibiting the powers of consciousness, cities mentioned in the last chapter. So I guess the cities kind of say where you are in terms of your access to consciousness, but it doesn't mean that all aspects of your being is balanced. That's why he was saying earlier, you can do a city, a lot of those gurus, but they still have issues with maybe their sacral stuff. I don't know. In order to comprehend Taoist alchemy, we must come to an understanding of a subtle force called qi. From the immense mystery of the Tao, which creates all worlds but is untouched by them, there is an eternal flow of the vital core, qi. There are many types of qi. There is, for instance, a vital force flowing out of quasars and stars. Though this is quite different in quality from the qi created by a stream, when most people think about qi, you usually think about the subtle life force in air. This type of qi is most concentrated in natural areas, away from cities. This kind of vital force is this type of natural force, vital force is strongest in large areas of tree growth, by lakes, rivers, and streams, as well as by larger bodies of water like oceans. Some individuals have speculated that this type of qi is related to negative ions, and there is some evidence that this is so. But there are other types of qi as well, more subtle, more refined types of qi, and this is one of the focuses of advanced Taoist alchemy. Traditionally, Taoist sages spent much of their time as hermits in nature. In later periods, groups of men or women would form communities to pursue their alchemical search with others. But almost always, these Taoist abodes were far from cities. They were usually located in places where the qi was especially strong, often in areas designated as dragon points. Dragon points are places of convergence where one form of qi meets another. They are most dramatically seen in mountain ranges. When two ridges meet, there's often a trench or a gorge that flows down the side of the mountains, a celestial qi. This type of qi is generated in the sky. I'm sorry, let me read that again. As celestial qi, this type of qi is generated in the sky, flows downward, it meets the terrestrial qi of the mountain at the point between the ridges. This is called dragon point. Where two streams or rivers converge, there is a detectable increase of qi, and this too is called a dragon point. Taoist sages would search for these places and put their abodes either in the dragon point itself or nearby. This made their alchemical work easier since there was a ready abundance of qi that they could draw upon in their practice. I think this is good to know. I'm just gonna bracket that whole thing because I think that's important. You know, like, so if you're building a house, you look for these type of places. I'm just saying. I wonder if that's safe though. There's an earthquake or something. I don't know, but I would consider this when I am to buy or build a house. Thought, time, and breath. As with tantric yoga, the Taoist alchemist must train the mind to enter prolonged states of stillness. This quiet of mind is crucial since the Tao can only be experienced in mental silence. Furthermore, many of the alchemical transformation in Taoist alchemy require a silent mind as well. There are many classes of stillness practices, some of them involving movement, such as Tai Chi, and others involving sitting meditation, such as the Celestial Gate, which I will discuss to some extent in a moment. In these stillness practices, the mind is eventually led to a state of deep quietude. In actual practice, especially at the beginning, there may be a flurry of mental activity. Thoughts come and go, sometimes in a torrent, sometimes in a trickle. Eventually, the practitioner notices the speed of his or her thought seems to be slowing down. There seems to be more space between thoughts, and at some point, they stop altogether, if only briefly. The practitioner also notices that the breath changes during these states. There is a tendency for the breath to slow down as thought slows down. When there is no thought, there's often no breath, or it is very shallow. This is significant for several reasons. From a neurological standpoint, we could say that this is because the brain waves of the practitioner are in the lower states of alpha and or theta where the breath naturally gets slower. Research on meditation has noted, by the way, that these states also produce a decrease in muscle tension, heart rate, blood pressure, and respiration, all of which are quite positive in their stress-reducing effects. In fact, studies have shown that those who practice forms of meditation that produce these effects, as in the Taoist stillness practices, are generally less stressed than their counterparts who do not meditate. Several years ago, about an hour before twilight, I chose to do a stillness practice known as the Celestial Gate, sometimes referred to as Heaven's Gate, at a park. As twilight descended around me, I was still doing the practice and noticed that my breathing had stopped. Not only this, but thoughts seemed to be arrested. My mind was clear and as calm as the surface of a tranquil lake. But most impressive to me in the moment was that time also seemed to have stopped, and I was suspended in a timeless dimension of mind. I decided to walk back to my car as it was getting dark. The trip took me 20 minutes or so. I noted that the impulse to go back to the car came as a sensation, as if it had come from deep within my body and not as a thought. I did not think, now I need to get back to the car. This non-speaking state of mind seemed oddly amusing to me at the time. During my saunter, I noticed that my breath was very shallow, even though the trail back to the car was over hilly terrain. That timeless feeling was still very strong, and I seemed to move over the hills with little effort. Ironically, when I saw my car in the parking lot, I remembered an appointment later that evening, and I spontaneously took a deep breath. My breath had returned to normal, and that feeling of timelessness vanished. I was firmly rooted back in time. There is a fascinating relationship between the perception of timelessness and the cessation of breath. In yoga, you may recall the cessation of breath is called Humbaka. In Taoist meditation practice, this suspension of breath is often encountered as well, especially when entering the deeper states of mental quiet. Interestingly, the idea of breath suspension can be found within Egyptian alchemy in the concept of Ankh. The Ankh, sometimes called the Egyptian cross, consists of three main parts. The cross itself, representing matter, the Shen loop, representing spirit, and the Shen knot, which represents the breath. As long as we are breathing, our spirit is bound to the matter of our bodies, our embodiments. However, when the Shen knot loosens, the breath stops or gets very shallow, and we can, in that moment, enter timelessness. Once again, we see a central concept in one alchemical system repeated in another alchemical tradition. I do think it is fascinating that the Taoist word for spirit, Shen, is the same as the Egyptian Shen. I do not know if it is simply a coincidence of translation or if the terms really were the same. Nevertheless, it is quite interesting. But back to the paradoxes of time, thought, and breath. As a psychotherapist who often worked in the area of psychoneuroimmunology, how our thoughts and feelings affect immunity, I find the time paradox also intriguing from the vantage point of health. A study of patients admitted to an emergency room due to cardiac arrest reveals some fascinating information about the interplay between body and mind. During recovery, these patients were asked some questions about their perception of time. Based on their responses, researchers would predict who would recover and who would die from another heart attack. How sad. Those patients who said that they were letting things go to take care of themselves and who reported feeling that there would be more than enough time to do what needed to be done were more likely to recover and avoid a second heart attack. Those patients, however, who stated that they were under tremendous pressure to do what had been left undone and who felt that they were running out of time invariably suffered a higher incidence of death due to a second cardiac arrest. None of this would come as a surprise to a Taoist sage. From the standpoint of Taoism, our modern time crunch world is disturbing to both health and spiritual attainment. We need to bring our time-bound minds back to tranquility on a regular basis or suffer the ill effects of our modern age. I have taught a simple form of Taoist stillness practice to hundreds, if not thousands of people by now. Everyone has expressed a deep appreciation for a method of meditation that is so quick and easy to enter into. Those who have never been able to meditate due to continual thought or inner dialogue are especially appreciative of this method, since thought is not a hindrance to the practice. I think this meditation is so effective. I have included a brief description of how to do it. If you are interested in experiencing this yourself, just skip it and go to the next part. So I'll read the meditation so you can try it, okay? The Celestial Gate meditation practice is based on dragon points. Dragon points, as I mentioned earlier, are places of convergence where one form of chi meets another. There are several dragon points within the human body. The Celestial Gate is just one of these and happens to be a place where heavenly chi, a very subtle form of chi, flows into the body and meets the terrestrial or earth chi of the body itself. Thus, this place is an energetically charged area. The Taoist sages discovered a long time ago how to take advantage of it. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Then lie down if you wish. You can lie down if you wish, but this makes people go to sleep. For a moment, just notice your breath. Don't change it in any way. Just watch it. Notice the rhythm and depth of your breath. Then after a moment, become aware of the space about an inch behind the bridge of your nose. Imagine that there is an opening about an inch square in this area. This is the Celestial Gate. All you do is focus on it. So after noticing the rhythm and depth of your breath, after a moment, become aware of the space about an inch behind the bridge of your nose. Imagine that there is an opening about 1 inch square in this area, and this is the Celestial Gate. So just think of a square inch behind the bridge of your nose, an inch behind the bridge of your nose. Okay, all you do is focus on it. Do not concentrate on it. So focus on it, but don't concentrate on it. There needs to be an explanation and difference between focus and concentrate. And I don't know what that means. Oh, just be aware of it. So don't concentrate on it, just be aware of it. If you are having thoughts or fantasies, this is not a problem. Let them continue on their merry way. Just let some part of your attention be on the opening. You can think all you want about anything you want, and the practice will still work so long as some part of your attention is on the Celestial Gate. As you continue to focus at the gate, you will notice that thoughts seem to slow down. There will seem to be more spaces between the thoughts or fantasies, and eventually they will stop altogether, if only temporarily. It is during these moments that you might find that your breath has stopped or has become very shallow. This is natural and is in fact a sign that you are entering the deepest states of stillness. It is in these deepest states of quiet, where there is no breath and no thought, that contact with the Tao takes place. Doing it for about 5 minutes will usually give you a clear sense of how this practice alters awareness. Eventually, you can extend the period of time for deeper experiences. Don't let the simplicity of this meditation fool you. It is a profound stillness practice that will lead you directly to the Tao itself. Gently extend the periods of stillness so that you become acquainted with and comfortable with these deep places of quiet. As you explore your own inner worlds, you might eventually encounter celestial beings who may grace you with their guidance and instruction. In Taoism, the deepest secrets are revealed only by the Tao itself. You cannot find these truths written in books, for it is forbidden to write about them. Thus, meditations like the Celestial Gate are like cosmic keys. Like keys, however, you must turn them to open the lock. If you wish to experience the mysteries of the Tao for yourself and not just read about them, you must turn the key. Yes, I'm going to stop there for today, and tomorrow we'll begin with the cultivation of Qi. So guys, you think you're going to try it? I think I might try it to see. I like stillness meditations. I didn't like, I mean, I had like this, what was transcendental? I had like that one too. That was the mantra, you could say. I made up my own mantra. And I did feel floaty, but I could never just do things consistently if I'm not finding joy. So it was just too much work. But maybe I will try this one and see if I like this one more. I know I like the stillness meditation because I like to look at the sunset and just hear nature. So maybe that will work for me. I don't know, but I might try it. I'm curious, you know? Let me know if you have tried it or if you're going to try it, or if you've tried it in the past and it worked and you like it. Anything, let me know. I'm curious. Anyways, I hope you have a great day. Hope you know you are loved. You are loved and you are loved. You take time with yourself and you're gentle with yourself and you figure out how to love yourself in the best way that's best for you. I'm finding that that is a continual process. I'm finding new ways and finding out new things about myself to love and accept. So, yeah, the journey is a beautiful one. There are times when it feels like you just can't understand what's going on, but eventually you do get an understanding. Maybe it's when you're in the shower or you're driving or you're watching a relaxing TV show or you're looking at the sunset or you're meditating, meditation. I don't know. But the answers usually come, you know? Anyways, hope you have a really great day. I should be back tomorrow because I skipped yesterday. So I should be doing tomorrow, Friday. I hope. I don't know. It depends how I feel. But I think I feel good. Have a great day, guys. Bye.